Welcome to CoMotion MakerSpace. We are an on-campus resource at the University of Washington for all your creative and prototyping needs. In this video, we'll walk you through policies to keep a safe and friendly space. It is imperative that you adhere to the policies mentioned in this training. Not following safety procedures can result in denied entry, revoked card access, temporary injuries, long-term health conditions, or even death. To begin with, if a staff member is not present, you should never enter the space and you should promptly leave. You should never be in the space when under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or medication. On a related note, in adherence with university policy, we strictly prohibit bringing or manufacturing weapons, drugs, or paraphernalia-related items. For your safety, it is important that you dress appropriately while in this space. Closed-toe shoes are required at all times, and for equipment with moving parts, it is important that long hair is tied back, jewelry is removed, and baggy clothing is not worn. We provide safety glasses and goggles required for some equipment. We also provide cut-resistant gloves, but they should not be worn when operating machinery. Earplugs may be worn for hearing conservation as long as they do not inhibit your awareness of surroundings. Food and drink may be consumed in designated spaces away from equipment. All drinks must be covered to avoid spills. For your safety and the longevity of our equipment, always wash your hands before and after consuming food. Being aware of emergency procedures ensures you are prepared in the event of an accident or emergency. The locations of the eye wash, fire extinguisher, first aid kits, and fire alarm are detailed on maps posted by each door. The eye wash and hand washing stations are located in the kitchen. If use of the eye wash is needed, rotate the faucet head, run cold water, and flush eyes for at least 15 minutes while holding eyelids open. The MakerSpace keeps chemical use to a minimum and does not have safety showers, so you should not bring your own chemicals. If you are injured, you are required to report the injury to MakerSpace staff, no matter how minor the injury. You are welcome to use the first aid kits located on pillars in the space. Our emergency exit is directly opposite of our entrance. In an evacuation, leave any tools, belongings, or machinery behind. Promptly head toward the emergency exit and gather in the parking lot north of Fluke Hall. Emergency contact information is posted by the entrance and emergency exit doors to the MakerSpace. A full list of policies and emergency contact information can be found in the MakerSpace Safety Binder and are also posted by the doors to the MakerSpace. It is important that you follow both MakerSpace policies and the UW Code of Conduct when using our space. Proper waste disposal is important for our environment and the safety of our custodial staff. Sharps, defined as anything that may puncture a plastic bag, such as old blades, needles, and metal shavings, should be disposed of in the red sharps disposal containers. The tip carts are for construction waste such as unusable plywood, cardboard, or acrylic scrap. Any styrofoam waste should go in our designated styrofoam waste bags. Of course, we also have general waste containers for landfill, recycling, and compost. Before using any equipment, choose equipment that is appropriate for your task. Refer to the manufacturer's manual for proper operating procedures, inspect equipment for damage, and familiarize yourself with emergency stop procedures. When using equipment, never attempt to override built-in safety features. The MakerSpace maintains a binder with safety procedures and equipment manuals. We'll walk you through some of the equipment we have available in the space and their safety procedures. In general, equipment that is malfunctioning should be taken out of operation to prevent unintended injury. We follow a lockout-tagout safety procedure where key electrical plugs or operating switches are locked to prevent usage. If you hear or see equipment doing something unusual, or think equipment may be malfunctioning, immediately notify MakerSpace staff. When in doubt, ask staff. When using 3D printers, keep your hands clear of moving parts and never touch the extruder nozzle as it can be extremely hot. Only print using filaments allowed by the MakerSpace. Sometimes parts adhere strongly to 3D printer beds. Always remove parts slowly and carefully, keeping hands clear of any barriers that they may hit if your hands slip. To use a laser cutter, 3 things must be running: the air compressor, fume extractor, and laser cutter. Only use the laser cutter to cut materials on the allowed materials list. Fires can occur unpredictably in the laser cutter, so you must watch all cuts for their full duration. Small flames are sometimes normal, but flames that linger or grow should be extinguished. To do this, open the laser cutter lid and spray flames with the water sprayers located by the laser cutter. Flames should never be allowed to grow to the point of needing a fire extinguisher. However, in the rare event one is needed, fire extinguishers are located around the space. The drill press contains moving parts, so safety glasses are required, jewelry must be removed, and no loose or baggy clothing should be worn. Before drilling, always tighten bits securely with the chuck and check that bits are centered when rotating. When drilling, do not force the bit into your material. You may need to start with a smaller bit and gradually increase bit size to avoid overworking the drill press. Before using our CNC mills, you should take notice of the location of the emergency stop button. You should observe milling jobs for their entire duration, as the mill cannot detect if it is milling stock material or itself. If the bit does mill into the machine, stop the job immediately. Do not overwork bits. Smaller bits or broken bits can be sharp and should be disposed of in sharps waste. When done using the mills, vacuum any mess you've created inside and around the mill. Our electronics prototyping station contains a variety of tools including soldering irons, a PCB machine, reflow oven, oscilloscopes, function generators, multimeters, probes, and power supplies. Here are some safety policies to keep in mind when working with electronics. When soldering, wear safety glasses, use a fume extractor, and do not touch the hot tip of the iron. You are allowed to bring your own solder, but it must be lead-free. Probes are sharp and should be used carefully. Electricity is dangerous. Avoid touching metal contacts when electricity is running. The reflow oven is hot and may catch on fire. The PCB machine has moving parts and is very expensive. When finished, turn off equipment, clean up your space, unplug tools such as soldering irons, and remove probes or wires from equipment such as power supplies. The styrofoam cutter burns through styrofoam, producing fumes that may be irritating. For this reason, always use a fume extractor when cutting styrofoam. Safety goggles may be worn if your eyes are sensitive. The vacuum former heats plastic so it may be hot, including the entire metal frame. Our vinyl cutter should only be used to cut vinyl intended for decal. Do not attempt to adjust the blade yourself. Ask staff for assistance. For most sewing projects, our regular sewing machines will get the job done. For the industrial sewing machine, safety glasses are required, and you must demonstrate proficiency to a staff member, as it is possible to accidentally pierce your finger. For virtual and augmented reality, read the posted safety rules. If it is your first time in VR or AR, follow the tutorial to familiarize yourself with functions. Some equipment in the MakerSpace requires additional training prior to use. For example, the wood shop. Please visit our website or ask a staff member for more details. We appreciate your attention for the duration of this safety orientation video. We look forward to working with you.